Overlord DLC is pretty well written. The ending decision, pretty good, I think. I mean, the Renegade decision, it feels kind of evil, but I could see somebody making it. I get it. Awesome size 16s. I'm excited for it. Yeah, they asked me what movie I wanted to see, and since we already saw Ant-Man and Mad Max, I went with Inside Out. Okie dokie smoky. Off we go. We've done most of the non-DLC side quests as of yesterday. We cleaned a lot of that up. Let me grab this one while we're here. Won't take long. I guess if there's a mission here, we can do it real quick. I just don't want to stop in the middle of Overlord if we can help it. Oh yeah, Jurassic World. That's probably going to be in the cheap theaters soon.
I have detected an anomaly.
Okay, yeah, there is a anomaly here. That's cool. We'll take care of it.
All hands prepare to burn down the house.
Launching probe. I have found something.
Yeah, I think I'll wait for the cheap theaters on that one. We'll go watch it. Be nice to like start a thing. Andrew and I going to watch a movie at this cheap theater, maybe once a week or so. Hydrogen clouds. Ooh. What does this say? Elegant means deceptive was so named by Solarian scouts because as their probes landed on the planet, their instruments started going awry. It turned out to be the high concentration of magnetically active periclase or magnesia in the core crust of the planet. It interferes with scans and broadcasts, which has given rise to countless spacer stories of pirates lying in wait in the magnetosphere or crashed ships with untold fortunes stranded on the surface. Any pirates would have a hard time locating prey amongst all the interference and would have their lives cut off from the rest of the galaxy. Kills extraplanetary communication. Cool. I was really turned off by the Jurassic World trailer. Like, some of the dialogue in it is atrociously bad. But people have said that, oh, forget the trailer, man, the movie's pretty good, you should watch it. So I'm sure we're going to go see it once it hits the cheap theater. White Knight takes its name from a Solarian story in the Romantic period of a knight who refused all temptation to riches. I like how they suggest that a lot of the races have a similar cultural evolution. Ooh, interesting, Leon. Did they say what they're changing? There's a game I'd be willing to play again on stream. Ori and the Blind Forest was really good. If you haven't played it and you like Metroidvanias, that's a huge sin. Quit your job, stop watching Twitch, go play Ori and the Blind Forest. It's very pretty, it's very polished gameplay, cool story. It's a Fern Gully Metroidvania. Yeah, makes sense, Thomas. What are above it? I haven't followed the grossing stats for a long time. Shit, that's something I don't want to have for this at all. It might be the worst item for dealing with heavy mechs. They just like circle strafing with this thing.
Fragments is offline.
Revenant's not too bad against them. Usually the way to do this is just use your heavy weapon ammo. You kill them with a headshot, they explode. Still another one here, right? Up there. Yeah, right, Cloud? This is the level where the flamethrower is probably the absolute worst item you could have. I didn't get the headshot. That's okay. That's it. Really? I've never saved all the crates. I didn't even think it was possible. Is that something where you did it multiple times until you did it perfectly? It might be the highest level in this game. I think it only goes up to 30. Take a look here in a second. I know that whatever level you are in this game, you start from that level in Mass Effect 3, which is kind of cool. Keep a lot of the same stats. They didn't like redo it like this, like Mass Effect 1. Yeah, I think that's the highest level. Yeah. Bet somebody's done it. Do an insanity playthrough where you have to save all the crates in order to get to achieve 100%, right? I think that may have been our last like non-DLC system anyway, so perfect. Go. Investigate project over. That's us. Technically, you can do this before you get the Hammerhead unlocked, but I think that they released the Hammerhead DLC first, and then the Overlord DLC, which uses the Hammerhead. So if you want to have the game make the most sense, you should do Firewalker first. Hey, Typhon. Aight. Onos. Interesting. Moros. Deposits. The inhabitants of Moros have set large numbers of anti-personnel and anti-vehicular mines. Doing travel not advised, sure. Echidna. These are thematically named, aren't they? Echidna, Ponos, and Moros. And Ait. Earth-like world with a variety of habitable land. It also has faint rings, an unusual feature for a non-gas giant planet. I love the idea of rings on a non-gas giant. Elitania in Mass Effect 1 has that. It's my favorite, like, totally random side quest exploration planet. We're just keeping the OG crew for these. We'll take votes for like the main story missions as we continue them. I'm pretty sure that Garrus's loyalty mission, which we still have to do, doesn't involve a second character. It's just you and Garrus. Improved duration or better armor bonus. feel like they have the same recharge time, so does it really matter? He's just going to cast it when it's off cooldown, so I'd rather have the higher resist, I think. Although that triples the duration or slightly increases it. Let's take the long duration, and then he's not spending cooldowns on it. Using his concussive blast. I'll be on Giant Moth. Seriously, Cloud? With the cane? The cane doesn't blow up the crates?
Thank God you came. My name is Dr. Gavin Archer. The situation is urgent. We're facing a catastrophic VI breakout. I'll explain the details later, but you must retract that transmission dish. The controls aren't far from your position.
If you haven't seen this mission before, it's pretty well done. I won't spoil anything, but they do some cool stuff with the game engine that normally you wouldn't expect in Mass Effect.
Over here, on the monitor. There you are. I've locked myself in a computer room on the far side of the base. There are Geth on the loose. A rogue VI program has seized control, and I've lost a lot of friends today. I'd hate to see you join them. Please watch yourself.
Oh, that's good to know, Claude Reaver. I never knew that. The cane is the one that's just like a nuke, right? You just launch a nuke at them. To you. Have you seen this one before, Claude Reaver? It sounds like you did all the DLC in your playthrough, right?
Memo to all project personnel. I understand there's some concern about handling.
Geth.
I agree, it's a risk, but the potential reward is far greater. Someday your sons and daughters will thank you.
That's not good.
Damn it. The VI's over.
I happen to know what that VI was saying. I'll tell you what it is later
To
on.
upload his program off planet. Destroy the antenna.
If you listen
inside the
carefully,
dish.
you can make it
There's
out.
a tram on the lower level. Get to it as fast as you can.
Cool, HDL. I watched some of the good Evo fights. Where the info you get before you come here is that Project Overlord is some kind of Cerberus project intended at studying AI and specifically trying to harness the power of the Geth. See you, Vihan. Later. I don't know if this game got it. This DLC got its own music. I think a couple of them did. This doesn't sound like one of the other tracks of the game, so it might be a custom track.
Destroy my shields!
Light him up.
I like how the Geth have this like white liquid that's kind of stand in for blood. Geth are really cool, like old school sci-fi anime.
Nothing can hurt me.
Make sure they're using the right weapons. They're not.
Right.
Change weapons.
It's like tank stance. Take for Cerberus.
This should punch through their armor.
Yeah, Vihan, you might be able to see that if you're watching on YouTube what Matt just mentioned. Although I think since he's walking on a mobile device with limited battery, he might not be able to do that.
No shields.
Sniper rifle's pretty great, but it's very bad at dealing with shields, as you're seeing here. Texas Garrus. Scratch one! Yeah, I don't know if like he just decided to go a little Texas in these missions. Or it's just that the fact that they like drop the, you know, usually it sounds like Texas and they drop the voiceover effect for him. It sounds like Earthworm Jim. Hi. Oh. Garrus is best Turian. Well, they really don't give us a lot of other Turians to compare against, do they? Maybe we'll get a female Turian in Mass Effect 4. Playing the radio music.
Stream want to see one of the CT modules?
Oh, sure. Do you want to unbox them? Go for it.
On LinkedIn. I pretty much will accept almost anyone on LinkedIn.
Damn it all. He's aligning the dish to a new
Oh, did they add female Turians in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer? I didn't know that they added them. That's cool. I didn't know they ever did models.
This is the reason that I need to activate because I don't trust you. Get these modules.
So CTA is the Cherenkov telescope array. You can Google that. It's an experiment that Andrea is working on.
Building a prototype. One of the modules, the camera, the photo sensor. I think would go on this side.
Detects light.
Yep, detects light from gamma ray showers in the atmosphere, and then there's 4 chips inside that do pretty much most of the work, as far as triggering and sizing, and their special gigahertz sampling, which is really fast. That.
I guess.
Got all these preamps. Amplify the signal off this card. Yeah, half our chips were dead, so we had to replace them.
Right, and that's the thing where you're just kind of screwed over the company that made them for you. You're not going to get like a refund or anything.
Well, and also, this is 2 years ago. And since we were like, we started this, you know, these finally got assembled a couple months ago, and we were like, hey, so these chips are bad. Then everyone's like, oh yeah, I kind of got a bad batch too from them. Maybe we should have warned you 2 fucking years ago. Before we put a bunch of bad chips on the guys, and now we have to take these apart and take the chips off and put them back on, and there's like 128 little legs that you need to all be specially soldered.
Data must be approved by your department supervisor.
Oh, it was a Vanguard too? Turian Biotic. That's awesome. Don't really see them too much in the main game. I think Saren gets... Oh, that's a really cool model. Hey, good looking out, Matt. I had no idea. They did female Turians in the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer eventually. Look at the head fringe.
Oh, hey, you got someone in Hitbox chat.
That was from yesterday. That was the person who said they would join in Hitbox chat and help me out monitoring it.
Oh, yeah, that was...
With Hitbox, imagine it's like when I was first starting on Twitch. Like, they still sort games by the number of viewers. So since the viewer count is like 1 or 2 at any given time, the number of walk-ins is going to be small. Which is fine. I mean, I'm trying to focus on Twitch right now and use Hitbox for it. Yeah, that's a good point, Matt. Don't just slap lipstick on Garrus and call it a day. You gotta give him a different, different appearance. They kind of... There is a female Krogan in Mass Effect 3. Important to the story, so I won't spoil anything about her, but... They kind of got around the whole, do we give her a unique model by giving her, like, heavy clothes.
Really, Cloud Reaper? Did they work? I doubt it. Right? So then you do one, you learn things, and you change the specs, and then when you make the rest of them. 'Cause yeah, the other thing we have to do is we have like a piece on it that monitors the current, and on half of the modules they just didn't even have that piece on it, because they didn't have a little resistor for us to measure the current. So I had to go over to the Slack and beg the electronics shop people to do it for me. Messed up.
How much time is that added to your thesis writing, Pod Reaver?
There we go.
So there's been all Geth here, and the game hasn't really explained why yet. We just know that they were doing research on building an AI to deal with the Geth. This is Overlord, Andrew. So we don't know what the deal is yet. We'll see.
Secure my shield!
It's totally, I'm in the line of fire of some Geth, I think. Be careful here. More careful than I'm being. Garrus, where you're standing is like, that's not cover. It's the opposite of cover. Just run and get into a better spot. There we go.
This should slow him down.
I see. Yeah, that sucks. Very sensitive work, I guess. Feels like there's like minimal ways to hold integrated circuit companies accountable.
You're dead! Little pieces of crap!
They're like, oh yeah, the chicks are dead, and then there was this, they thought that they lost the mask, which is really, like, completely reasonable, so, in the mold. And if that was the case, then that would cost an additional $13,000 for the mold, and then $8,000 to get a new batch of chicks. And then they could down the old mask. But I'm like,
Mask
so,
was like a mold.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone calls it a mask, but I don't know.
Don, I'm gonna go see Inside Out tonight. Are you excited? Because I really am.
Feel the blood rage.
Talked about Mad Max earlier. Oh, not from the industry.
Yeah, I guess with our modules, we've got like all these preamps packed real tight, and they're like making us noise in our electronics, which really sucks, and that's like, that's for another person.
Inside Out is Pixar, right? It's not Disney. They kind of run together for me now. Like, Frozen is Disney. Big Hero 6 is Disney. Finding Nemo is Pixar, Up is Pixar, Cars is Pixar.
Satellite broadcast window is opening soon.
Yeah, the music in Overlord is outstanding.
Be approved by your department supervisor.
Like, Disney probably still has the capacity to make a bad movie. They've been on a roll for a while now, but Pixar, well, outside of like Cars 2, hasn't really. Cars 2 is a paycheck movie though.
They have their own capacitors. Try blowing them up.
Cars was?
picked that the main characters would be cards because they thought
They've got heavy.
Oh, they could sell toys. Yeah, makes sense. Up is a fantastic movie, though. Okay. Or DreamWorks is gross to me. DreamWorks movies feel greasy. You like DreamWorks?
They did the How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I don't know, man. Like Shark Tale and like Ants and like even like Shrek.
What's wrong with Shrek?
Shrek 1's pretty good.
Comedies.
I don't know. They just have this like layer of. It's like fast food.
Lost shields.
Like, it's good. Racist against ogres.
Oh,
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. It's Jack Black. I don't know. I don't hate DreamWorks. Okay. Like, I don't know. So maybe I'll put it this way. If you tell me that a movie's made by Pixar, then I'm like, okay, it's gonna be good. If you tell me it's made by DreamWorks, I'll be like, I don't know, man. Yes, I have a prejudice against DreamWorks. I prejudge.
that is what prejudice is.
Yeah, I'm using other words. And then maybe I'll go see it and it'll be great, like Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon. Ants is DreamWorks, right? Or am I getting confused? There was a window where they were just making like, this is the DreamWorks version of the Pixar or Disney movie that just came out. It might be part of it, Cloud Reaver. Although Austin Powers 2 is pretty great. 3 was really bad. Old member.
Kidding.
Schedule update, we got about another hour and a half of Mass Effect 2. We'll finish out the Overlord storyline. We'll reevaluate our time here at the end to see what's up next. Although Secret of Monkey Island blind playthrough starts at 4 o'clock Pacific.
Man's reach exceeding
Just seemed
his
like a
grasp.
interactive choose your own
Come on,
adventure movie.
I'll explain.
Yeah,
I like the art.
they're called adventure games from back in the day. There were a lot of games that were like that because they were pretty easy to make. I think you would really like playing them.
And Titanic Adventure Through Time?
Yeah, Titanic Adventure Through Time is an adventure
Probably
game.
not much.
Yeah.
This isn't over
The
yet.
game's awesome!
I don't know if I could stream it, man. I have to run a virtual Windows XP box in order to
It's
even
like
get it to run.
You go back in time to both stop the Titanic from sinking and prevent World War II.
This is like one of Andrea's pet games that she just happened to have on her computer as a kid, so she's like, she just played it a bunch. Not because it was particularly good, although it is a pretty good game.
It was awesome!
It's not hand-picked, I'm saying. It was just, this was what was on the computer, so you played it.
Oh no, I think my parents bought it.
I think everybody has a game like that. I have to think what mine was. Like, what's a shitty game that I played a lot of just because I owned it? It's not shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No. I hear you ragging
what's like a
on
B
Titanic
plus,
Adventure
C
Through
plus
Time.
kind of
Arch,
game?
chief
was a great
scientist
game.
at this facility, and
There
probably
were lots
the
of
only one
layers
left.
to it. Good music.
You owe us that.
I'm gonna be quiet for this
explanation.
cutscene.
This is Project Overlord, an attempt to gain influence over the Geth by interfacing a human mind with a VI. The results have been less than satisfactory.
Cloud Reaver, just for calibration purposes, how do you feel about Chris Farley?
I'd hate to see what you call a disaster.
You can't dismiss the entire project. We did succeed. At least partially. My brother, David, volunteered to serve as a test subject, but his mind couldn't handle the VI connection. He's like a virus now, infecting our networks and seizing control of any technology he finds. It's why you had to destroy the dish. Imagine if his program got off-world.
How does he take control of electronics?
This is a hybrid intelligence the likes of which I've never seen. I don't know where the man ends and the machine begins.
So they've made like a cyborg intelligence. They're basically using a brain to be an AI. It's kind of crazy.
What's the worst case scenario?
A technological apocalypse. Every machine, every weapon, every computer could be turned against us. If he hit the extranet, who knows where it would end?
You should have considered that before you started the experiment.
We couldn't be expected to account for every outcome. Certainly not the abomination David has become. David, the VI, has fortified itself in
So they didn't get extra voice acting in this DLC from the allies, so to make up for that, they just kind of have characters look at them off in the distance every now and then to remind you that they're there.
It's in lockdown now. To enter, you need to manually override security from our facilities in the Prometheus and Vulcan stations.
Yeah, I can hear that size 16s. There rarely were bad games. Like I didn't play like a shitty game over and over. If it was shitty, I wouldn't play it. But if it's a game that's just like, it's a B, it's a C+. Maybe upgrade it by one step because of my nostalgic memories of it. You know, I'm sure you feel similarly about Final Fantasy VII. Like the graphics are so bad that you don't even want to play it. But that's a A+ game for me.
And
Yeah.
a Kane a B. Is Math Blaster a B?
Math Blaster is an A++++. We're shutting down the stream. We're turning off Mass Effect. I'm getting Math Blaster. It's a Math Blaster stream, 6 hours a day, 5 days a
How does
week.
the lockdown work?
We're adding a Saturday and Sunday stream. Nothing but
It's a
Math
fail-safe
Blaster.
procedure in the event of an emergency. Normally, all 3 project leads have to agree to cancel the lockdown. I'm the only one left now. I can give my authorization, but you'll have to manually reset the other 2 yourself.
And what happens if I have to kill your brother?
Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get into 7 if you grew up with those kinds of graphics, and specifically with having played that game.
Tell me about Vulcan and Prometheus stations.
Vulcan Station is our geothermal plant. It generates power for the 4 outposts. Prometheus Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines. We use them for our experiments.
What happens on this station?
This is Hermes Station, our communications uplink with the wider galaxy. If you hadn't destroyed the dish in time, the outcome would have been catastrophic.
What went wrong with the experiment?
David volunteered to interface with the VI to give it genuine consciousness. Theoretically, it should have been safe, but with artificial intelligence, there's no such thing.
In all seriousness, how many Math Blaster games actually exist? I thought there was just one.
Then you shouldn't have attempted it.
And what if you'd never attempted to find the Reapers, Commander Shepard? Where would the galaxy be then? Sometimes you have to ignore the risks.
Tell me more about Project Overlord.
We wanted to turn the Geth's religious impulse into a weapon. When we saw them following Saren, we realized they could be swayed. And if a proper figurehead was created, a virus with a face, if you will, the Geth might be controlled.
That's an ambitious undertaking.
It would be the perfect weapon. Victory without casualties. We could avoid war with the Geth altogether. That was the plan, anyway.
What can you tell me about Atlas Station?
Atlas Station is the main laboratory where all of our VI experiments take place. It's your final goal once you've overridden the lockdown. It's also where my brother became something else.
I'm heading out now.
Okay, so the TL didn't listen of that was that this guy's brother is a human computer, essentially, that they're trying to use to control the Geth. This project by Cerberus, so they can use the Geth in war. There's a war without casualties, which is kind of not treating the Geth as sapient life forms. It's like Futurama, like... Fry, do you think that human life is more valuable than robot life? Well, yeah.
renegade thing.
This is the renegade thing you wouldn't do. That's correct. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense with hindsight, but like the decision. I feel like if they had gone really crazy with Mass Effect and made every decision to have realistic consequences and done a lot of mutually exclusive content, basically spent 3 times as much money on the game as they did. Geez, you can't really expect them to do that. They could have given you something really cool for making the renegade decision in this game. They gotta go get on the hammerhead. Nice, Cloud Reaver. Dude, Math Blaster's not educational. That game is too rad and too fun. Like, I don't know if you play like some of the Sesame Street NES games. Those games are not fun. It's edu fun. I think all video games are educational, for the most part. Dude, part of my vocabulary, the part of the reason it's...
So like, what?
You're looking for an immediate counterexample.
Call of Duty.
Potentially socially educational. Potentially, provided that there is some kind of punishment in place for acting like a douchebag online. Although I feel like there really isn't. But if you can act like a complete ass in Call of Duty Online multiplayer and get banned for it, I would hope that teaches you some kind of lesson about acting like an ass in a public space that has less severe consequences than learning that, you know, in the real world. Did they actually ban you? I know nothing about Call of Duty. Academically educational. Yeah, no, I knew your point, Cloud Reaver. I'm being pedantic. This is kind of a cool level. They decided to make this little hub world. You can make out the rings of the planet in the sky. But I would be cool if they did other missions like this in Mass Effect 4, where you have access to a vehicle, you drive around. There's different areas you have to go to, and after each mission, you come back to this main map to go to the next one. You're the Robin Hood of trolls, Matt. I wanna be the very best. No one ever was. Da-na-na-na. Catch them is my real test. Train them is my cows. I can travel across the land, searching far and wide. You gotta do that. If you're gonna sing that song, you gotta search.
How is Candy Crush educational?
Kami. The new Xbox, if you say Xbox turn off, you can turn it off. So if they yelled his name, they would turn the system off. That's pretty genius, Kami. How is Candy Crush educational? Well, we've shown that mobile games are effective in maintaining the mental health of old people, no matter what they are. Just a simple activity of exercising your brain. Pattern recognition is one of the things that makes us human, aside from the awareness and terror of our own mortality. Yeah, I agree, Nulu. That's not real difficulty. If a game is hard because the controls are bad, the best games are difficult. Basically, the best games, when you fail, you know that the failure was your own fault. See what I mean, Kami? There you go.
Oh yeah, I like this thing.
Yeah.
That vehicle is super.
The only problem is it has very weak armor, so you die at like 1 or 2 hits. Yeah, I like this too. I was hoping that they were going to do more of this in Mass Effect 3. Thanks, VI. Good looking out.
No armor, let's go running all the way.
Well, that doesn't... Armor is like when things are shooting at you. So wait, so what's the moderation like? Is there no moderation for Xbox Live? I was under the impression that if you were a douchebag online, that someone could report you and you could get banned. Not specifically from like Call of Duty, but like that Microsoft could handle this. They'd listen to the logs or something. If there is zero, moderation, then maybe that's a game that doesn't have a lot of benefit. Hand-eye coordination, maybe. I see. Yeah, so you're saying that you could like go into a Call of Duty match on Xbox Live and like threaten to kill someone's family and nothing would happen to you? Dude, the graphics here are really cool looking. You're riding over this like lava lake. These are the kind of levels I was hoping for in Mass Effect 3. Maybe we'll get them in 4. We'll see. Oh, that's a cool idea, Kami, although that's not very educational for the people who end up in that queue.
Thruster velocity is inadequate to clear the wall ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna go to slot, test a couple of these. There they are. Dead.
Okay.
I think they should be.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
See you later.
Warning. Automated controls are offline. Core systems have been compromised.
Can you move? You're standing right in front of the TV. I'm not gonna be rude. That's a rude thing to say. Could you please move? It's like snarky. You make a better door than a window, Andrea. No, you're fine. Thank you. That's a clever way to handle it. From a development perspective, I like that, because I don't think you're ever going to fix somebody. If someone's a toxic douche, like, game rules aren't going to convince them not to be. It's going to have to be punishment after punishment over years of playing.
Warning. Pressure levels in valve A3.
Cloud Reaver, would you count Oregon Trail as academically educational? Because I got to play a ton of that for that reason. I don't know. I would know what like dysentery was if it wasn't for Oregon Trail. Yeah, I've never rage quit before. Cool. No, I was curious if like you were allowed to play it or if you had it at home. I only had it in school. I only played Math Blaster at school too, so. Oregon Trail teaches you that you can only carry 999 pounds with you. Wait, it's the way forward, right?
All you need is salt, a gun, and bullets.
Yes, I'd like to buy 9,999 bullets, please. You don't want like food or water or like
Nope.
axles for your wagon? Nope.
No, you always the banker.
Yeah, take the banker so you can afford more bullets. Later. Right, Cloud here. Nulu, can you sell me on this puzzle game you're working on? Like, what's your like elevator pitch for it? Is it like is it match 3 but with some kind of twist? When I say like elevator pitch, I mean like saying Terra Battle is Othello the RPG. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, good looking out, Cullever. You just did this mission recently, so you can tell me. I thought I had to go back to the main map area. Oh, I guess there's a new vent there, isn't there? Interesting. Why would I come up here? Ah. You're a new vent there. Good looking out, Cloud Reaver. Save me some time. Whoa, I'm just gonna run past that thing. Usually not the best idea. Kami wasn't even saying, he wasn't telling me what I missed. He was doing the Andrea, you're a new vent. Whoa! These are disappearing platforms. These are donut blocks in Mario. Hey Darkstar, how you been, man? Why would I want this? Is there like a secret resource up here or something? It is, that's cool. Secret resource. Yes, sir. God, if this thing just had the armor of the Mako. Can I use that as a shortcut to like not have to ride on these scary things? Yeah, Cloud Reaper, when I was doing the Firewalker missions, I was like, man, I know I'm not done with the Firewalker yet because I haven't gotten killed by turrets. And it was this level from Overlord that I was remembering. I just forgot that Overlord had the hammerhead in it. I think that's the way I want to go. Wait, did I just go in a circle? It's hard to tell, I don't have the little objective meter like you have in the rest of the game. I feel like I've been here before. Hold up, wait a minute, let me inject some pimpin' into it. Yeah, Meteos is really cool, uh-huh. Pretty sure I just went in a circle. Yes, okay, so let's not do that this time. Let's not get lost. A schedule update, we're going to be playing Mass Effect 2 for another 1 hour and 8 minutes. Hopefully beating the Overlord DLC. And then Secret of Monkey Island blind playthrough starts at 4 o'clock Pacific and ends at 6. I felt so clever doing that too. Oh man, I'm totally going the right way this time. False. Oh, interesting. So when you say styles of play, are you saying like those are multiple modes, or you're building that into the like the core game? I'm just gonna skip those turrets, man. Those turrets killed me all the time. when I played this for the first time. I feel like the trouble it takes to fight them just like speed through them. It violates my rule of kill everything. It doesn't give XP in this one, but just do it. That's why I'm so bad at survival horror games, because a lot of survival horror games are built on the assumption that you're going to run away from most of the enemies, and like my gaming instinct tells me I have to kill everything. I can't move on to the next screen until I kill everything, right? And it's like, no, if you kill everything, you're actually wasting resources. You don't want to go straight here. This part's harder because you're going against the flow. Cool hammerhead platforming level. Right, Sean? I hope there's more of this in Mass Effect 4. It's really cool. Hey D-Rock, how you been, man?
That's all of them.
Oh, interesting, Cloud Reaver. Good looking out. No spoilers today, D-Rock. This is an optional DLC mission. If you're worried about Mass Effect spoilers. I feel like I'm gonna get into a fight here while I'm doing this. I don't hear the battle music though, so maybe we're okay. Oh, that's interesting. I get it. Okay, sure. I'm gonna misstate it, but like in general, you could have, you know, maybe a rogue plays like Tetris, or is particularly good at Tetris mode. Fighter's good at Meteos mode, kind of thing. Dark Star. Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition was pretty good, despite being EA produced. So I have hope.
My shield.
Look at that, we got to kill those mechs by busting open the vents. It's kind of cool. How often do you actually get to use environmental effects to win fights in this game? Zaid's mission has something you can like drop on the opponents, but I never do it. I just screw it up. Are they still using the right weapons? No, they're using the wrong weapons. As is their way.
On it.
Okay, sure. So different variants of Match 3. You're going to try to draw inspiration from a lot of the versions of it. That's cool. Sweet, yeah, let me know when you got something playable. If you want to have people help playtest it, I can probably get folks on stream to take a look at it too. Let's see. Later, Cloud Reaver. Thanks for hanging out. Cloud Reaver, before you bounce, do you have a vote for the end of this mission? Should I do Paragon or Renegade?
Received an SOS from Atlas Station. Archer has declared a project emergency. We're trying to shut down the power generators to start the VI, but it's already hacked our automated systems. I'm ordering my people to sabotage the plant any way they can.
So people are complaining that it's Skyrim. Incompatible with the completionist mindset. Shot out that Jeff's leg. Alright. Gotcha, Cloud Reaver. Catch you later. Notice how all the enemies have that green outline on them, like we keep seeing the Overlord AI is having.
One less to worry about.
I don't know, man. Maybe for this one particular mission. I don't know if that actually gives it a shield, or it's just kind of a cool visual effect to show that it's being controlled by the Overlord AI. David.
It's about to go off.
That makes sense, Cloud Reaver. I can see why you'd do that. I didn't really get the Paragon option. I'll talk about that when we get to the event. I felt like the Paragon option was like needlessly idealistic, which I guess is what Paragon is supposed to be. Paragon versus Renegade, it should be realist versus or idealist versus pragmatist. Sometimes it doesn't play out that way. Yeah, it was an Emir mech. If you headshot them, they do a nuclear explosion as though you shot the Kane size 16s. No, HDL, if you have trouble, you can try watching on a different platform like Hitbox or YouTube. Aw. Poor little mech. It was like, don't shoot. I have to pop these tops in a precise order, Fry.
Are you receiving this? Commander Shepard, this is Dr. Archer. Please respond.
I hear you, Doctor.
They're using the same
Station and we're moving on.
animation effect. Should I shoot this thing? Hold on, let me give you guys a pull. They're using the same shaking animation on the droid. The mech that was in Mass Effect 1 with the Asari that the Arachnite Queen is speaking through. Renegade order up. Vote 1 for yes, 2 for no, and I'll just put a quick timer on it. How many votes come in? One for yes. 2 for yes. Looks like it's going to happen. Ah, poor bot.
Shepard out.
I thought it was cute. Well, I wouldn't have shot it. I agree with you, Claudia. There's a lot of mini missions inside of Overlord. We might finish before the hour's up. We'll see. If it's close to finishing the mission, I might run over by a little bit to clear it out. So we're not like opening the next session with, you know, the last 10 minutes of Overlord, but we'll see. I'll try. I would like to start Monkey Island on time if possible. One of them just shoots it anyway, Cloud Reaver. Okay, later, man. Safe travels. Most of the Renegade interrupts are pretty cool.
Commander, that was a daring
And aren't actually like a,
Vulcan station was a
you know,
success.
decision that
You
carries
still need to
over
go
or
to
matters at
Prometheus
length.
station and override the lockdown from there. Good luck.
Geographic conditions indicate an aesthetically pleasing view nearby. Organic life forms may wish to take note.
Thanks, VI. Yeah, look how aesthetically pleasing that is. Good looking out, design team. Y'all are making sure that the art assets are appreciated. People aren't just blitzing through the level. I feel like they need that little indicator of proximity in the side missions as well. Oh man, secret behind a waterfall. Seriously? I think that's the last one. Secret behind the waterfall is where we're going at the end. Makes sense. Put the coolest thing behind the waterfall, right? It moves so fast too, so they're able to design really big, like, areas. I just like the idea of having all these unique planet exploration events that have things like, you know, the little puzzle platforming with the lava. You could do that for all sorts of different planet types. Like I could see using a vehicle of some kind to explore, you know, the upper atmosphere of a gas giant or something like Venus. So I'm letting myself get a little bit too hyped for Mass Effect 4. This is what I talk about when I say the narrative uncertainty principle. That like, you have one, you can choose. You can either be uncertain about the narrative and just be excited about the, you know, infinite possibilities to come, or eventually they're going to make something, and even if it's satisfying, it will never be as satisfying as the hype for all possible combinations of possibilities. So whatever they make, you know, Mass Effect 4 I'm sure is going to be great, but our chance now to speculate about what it's going to include, we'll be more excited about it. Or in short, life is disappointing. Creative activity is disappointing.
Station is a crashed Geth ship full of dormant machines used in our experiment. Our people there have gone silent.
Scanning area. Analysis. Generators are providing power for main shield. Warning. A VI infection has assumed control of the Geth cannon.
Assumed control. Yeah, height management is critical. I 100% agree. This is a cool little side mission here.
Warning. Geth cannon is locking on our location.
You want to get out of the cannon. If you're in the fire of the cannon, you get killed in one hit. So let's not do that this time. Hey Kuja, hey Pax. How you guys been? Good to see you again. Alright. Round 2. Fight.
Commander Shepard, Prometheus station is a crashed Geth ship.
It's a pretty
full of
easy
dormant
mechanic to
machines
dodge
used
if
in
you're
our
not being an idiot like me.
Area. Analysis. Generators are providing power for main shield.
Come on, laser. This way.
Warning. The VI infection has assumed control of the Geth cannon. Warning. We are being targeted.
Whew. Pretty neat.
Warning. Geth cannon is locking on our location.
Come on. Come on.
Recommended
Yeah, you're trying to like get it to blow up the shields for you, because you can't get through them yourself. Very neat. There's a lot of cool design space with the Hammerhead, and I feel like they used it smartly.
Being targeted. Warning, gas cannon is locking on our location.
No, you're fine. That's a reasonable question. I probably will not ever do speedruns on stream. We've talked about it a little bit. There aren't any games that I know well enough and have practiced enough off-stream in order to speedrun it. So I feel like if I wanted to get into speedrunning, I would have had to have practiced it pretty significantly off-stream before I started online. Also, speedrunning is kind of a stressful playstyle for me. I love watching other people do it. It doesn't stress me out to watch, but like doing these kind of casual playthroughs, I'm having a good time. I feel like if I did speedrunning, it would be much more like a job. It makes me really anxious, you know.
Detected. Entry into the ship is now clear.
Which is interesting because I'll do something like I'm going to play Dark Souls, right? And there'll likely be 2-hour blocks where I just play Dark Souls for 2 hours and fail repeatedly against the same boss and never beat it and progress. For some reason, that wouldn't stress me out. But speedrunning a game and like failing a section over and over or missing my PB
clear.
over and over, I feel like I'm too late. The ship has sailed, essentially. Yeah, I feel like I could have a relaxed vibe with speedruns if I had already practiced the game. Like if I was really good at Final Fantasy VI or something before even starting streaming. But I don't have the extra time to practice it offline. Almost all of my gaming now I do on stream. Oh man, it's just a little ominous. Pretty cool looking though. You think so? The one person?
We just got word Atlas Station wants a dozen more gas.
How you been, Flurwing? Good to see you. How's your vacation? Did you make much progress in Earthbound?
Hanging around all these dormant machines is creepy.
Man. What's he saying? Alright, see you, Cam Man. Cool. I hope that's been paying dividends and you haven't been like, man, talking to everyone's a waste of time. I just feel like they put a lot of work into all the little dialogues. There's a lot of little just funny side missions and side things you can hear about. There's a character that's on the way to the meteor in Onett that you can go back and visit after the whole meteor sequence when Ness gets his cap, you know, and progresses on the main quest. Actually, the thing that he tells you in that guy's house, lie or exaggerate, is pretty important to the story. Cool. Quisco.
Halloween was yesterday.
You're fine, HTL. This is a no obligation stream. You just want to hang out and lurk, that's totally fine.
Everything's off-wire.
Yes, I will be playing something tonight. My plan is after we beat the full Zelda playthrough, we'll start a full Castlevania playthrough of the good Castlevanias. Like, unlike Zelda, there are a couple bad Castlevanias. Not a lot of them. Probably play all the Metroidvanias though. I don't think any of those are bad. Very good, Nulu. Cool. Well, that seems like a cool way to expand the game, like to add a new class or a new character that is better at a different kind of mode.
The VI's closing some passages
What is it in actuality, Kami? Let's see. Were you looking to monetize? I guess I didn't realize it was a mobile game until now. Were you looking to monetize with microtransactions? And like make it a free-to-play game, or were you looking to charge for downloads? I could see it working either way.
In an effort to reduce workplace stress, music has been approved for station-wide broadcast.
Enjoy your Portal reference there. The same music from Portal as well. I remember this puzzle.
Scanning area. Analysis. The objective is located on the far side.
Hi
of
Ben,
this
can I help you?
impasse.
One of these puzzles. That song also shows up in the elevators in Mass Effect 1 as a Portal reference. Nice flaring. Oh, that's really cool. But you have to monetize it, obviously. I'm just curious what model you were going for. Totally makes sense. This is kind of a neat puzzle. You're kind of a neat puzzle. Let's do the bottom left one selects the thing we're doing, and this one selects what direction we're moving it. I don't know if there's like an item we want to find. I guess I should. Well, that looks like that goes to an item, so that should be fine. This might be excessive, but yeah, I guess that's excessive. That's fine. Yes, I have many times. Actually, Link to the Past is one of those games for the Super Nintendo. The home screen counted both the number of game overs you had and the number of times you saved and quit the game. So one time as a child, I left the game turned on and played it without dying and 100%ed it, so I had a perfect save file that had a 000 on it at the end. Let's see. Which doesn't sound like a big deal, but when you're like a little kid, it's more of a big deal. I love these kinds of puzzles, man. This one's pretty easy. Cool to see more of it. I think that's enough. Cool. Yeah, we can help in any way. Let us know. You can find some other, obviously bigger Twitch streamers to play it too. That could be very helpful. That's how I played Weaponographist on stream, the team that I'm in. There's actually a couple pretty big streamers in this team, the Fallout Zone or whatever. I can maybe talk with Dizzy and some of the bigger folks to see if they'd want to play it as well. Help you out.
Override of Atlas Station lockdown accepted.
Oh man.
And there's the catch. I knew this was too easy.
Oh, good looking out, Garrison.
Come on,
Using the wrong weapons though. Oh man, so I wonder if that like Geth Prime we saw at the entrance is going to be active now.
Geth activity detected. Armed response is authorized.
That's definitely a fun gaming trope that you don't see all the time, which is like present you with a currently neutralized threat to build dread about it for later. They did that in Metroid Prime as well. Like, you know, you see the Metroids for the first time and they're in these glass tanks and they can't hurt you. It's like, oh man, I'm worried about when they break out. And the lights go out.
I love this one.
Yeah, cool, Nulu. Let me know when you got something ready. If you want to send me a Twitch message, I'll probably take a quick look at it myself, and then I might run it by some of the folks in my team. Like, they'd be happy to check it out as well. Right. No, it ways in the future. Hopefully there'll be a better streaming option for Android and iOS by then. I'd like to just do it from my phone, but it's very hard. Okay, I did Metroid Prime 1. I can link to the YouTube page of the games we've already beaten. Under the stream, under games, there's like a list to a link. It has all the completed game playlists. I'll try to grab it here for you.
This is a Geth status alert. No activity.
Oh god. Let me back up. Excuse me, Garrus. Love you. So, Garrus, I need to take your cover. There you go. We did Metroid Prime 1. Once we beat Metroid Prime 2, we'll probably sub it out for 3. And then we'll go back to the 2D games, which are my favorite in the series. Hey, welcome back, Leon. It's a good tech dread in this DLC mission. Way to go down over here. Must be back this way. I think this is the way out. It is cool. Did you know that those kinds of scripted set events, like those didn't really exist before the original Half-Life? Half-Life is Citizen Kane in that regard. I'm not talking about quality, talking about how it, you know, originated a lot of game cinematography tropes. First-person shooters before then, you wouldn't just be walking down a hallway and then, oh crap, you know, something fell out of the ceiling that didn't really exist. And that's so central now that you go back and play Half-Life 1, you're like, I don't get what's the big deal. Why do I care? I actually have never beaten Half-Life 2 before, so at some point we'll be doing Half-Life 2 as a blind playthrough. I played like the first 6 hours of it. My favorite thing about Half-Life 2 and Valve's games in general is they design their levels in a way that makes it feel like you're cheating. It feels like you're breaking the game, but that's actually where they intended for you to go. So it has some of the best level design and conveyance in any series. That's kind of the point of Portal, is that you feel like you're breaking it. But like, in particular in Portal 1, the entire last level of the game feels like you're sequence breaking when really you're doing what they want you to do. Just making sure they're dead, that's all. I'll try to time my Half-Life 2 playthrough with the release of Half-Life 3. That was a joke. Hey, there's our buddy Stasis man. Yes, you are, Krogan. Who's my grunt? I imagine that it would make sense for them to release the cards in like reverse order of how awesome they are, right? Build rather than drain the hype. Although Magic release announcements, they tend to announce at least one good card in the first announce. What's Aviana? Can you, without linking, just like tell me the stats and the ability? It's really tough. I wonder how this is going to keep going for... I wonder if Hearthstone's going to move to like a format system for Hearthstone. This is the way it works in Magic the Gathering, right? You would think that Magic is extremely intimidating to get into, which it is, because it's been out for such a long time, and how can you possibly compete with people who have been collecting cards for 10 years or longer? But the way they deal with that is they have this format system where they have Legacy, which is a format that goes, well, I think it's Legacy. Someone can correct me. Anyway, there's a format that goes all the way back to the very first Magic set when the cards were crazy and stupid broken. There's Modern, which are all the cards since they started taking their balancing seriously. And then there's Standard, which is what they suggest that a newbie get into, which is just the currently released set and like last year's release set. And it means that, you know, there's a low barrier to entry. You can play with cards that, you know, you could roughly have a good chance of obtaining. You're not working against people who've been collecting them for 10 years. And it rotates out over time, so you can kind of stay caught up with it. But Hearthstone, I fear, is going to get into a situation where they make the ideal 2-drop card. And, like, this is now the barometer by which we judge every other 2-drop card for the rest of eternity. Unless if they come up with some kind of format system, then you can't make an interesting 2-drop unless if it competes with that or deals with that in some way. Like the existence of Big Game Hunter, for example, is a Hearthstone card that says you destroy a minion that has greater than 7 attack. That fundamentally alters the value of every card that has greater than 7 attack. Yeah, it's too bad. Modern seems like a cool format. I've never played it. Mostly what I've done is drafting. I enjoy, because drafting is like the extreme of a new player can play it, because everyone at the table is on the same playing field with drafting. Oh man, seriously, Kami? That sucks. They put it right during PAX? Thanks, guys. Well, we'll see. I'm probably going to be too dead to do anything, but maybe I'll bring my laptop and stream some late-night Diablo. That's true. Hearthstone is different in that they can go back and nerf existing cards. Whereas with Magic, it's like once a card is broken, it's broken forever. They can ban cards outright, but that's an inelegant solution to the problem.
Good. I'm getting some troubling readings here, though. VI is trying to upload its program directly from your location. Get to the server room and shut down the core before it can...
Oh, what? Now we know that his brother was autistic. We did not know that before. Now that's a similar plot thread in the second Mass Effect book, which deals with an autistic, like, genius little girl. I originally thought that Overlord was going to be very closely tied in with it in this game, but it's not. Interesting. Lots of cool storytelling using mechanics in this one, with doors opening when you open the wrong one and so on. Right, Neely. It gets cooler too. What do you know? It seems like Archer is not the best guy. I haven't played Magic in a while. What's Joust? Is it like the fight mechanic? Like, you know, these two characters deal their damage to each other?
Arriving at level 4. Arriving at level 1. Arriving at level 4.
Oh, interesting.
Arriving at level 1.
Well, we want to get it to 7. Okay. So we got to do some nonsense, basically.
Arriving at level 3.
It's +2.
Arriving at basement
Not what we
level.
want.
Resetting elevator.
+2.
Arriving at
I press it again to go to 4.
Arriving at
So
level
one of them
4.
must be +3 or +1.
Arriving
It's
at
-1.
level 3.
Okay.
Arriving at level 5. Arriving at level 7.
Little puzzle. Pretty cool. Whoa! I was not, man. Should have been paying attention. Should have expected that. There's totally a Geth Prime behind that.
Little pieces of crap.
Oops. We're okay. Chest high walls didn't give me a clue for some reason. Y'all need to use the right weapons.
You got it.
Okay. That sounds familiar. I remember reading about that.
Arriving at level 6. Please contact.
Later, Nilu. See ya.
This elevator is not in service. Please choose another. Smoke detected. Please extinguish all
I've seen Mission Impossible a lot. I've been to Disney World.
To the left.
Good looking out there, Yaris. Sniped him.
Warning. Decelerator offline. Serious injury may occur.
There we go. I like this puzzle because it makes you feel smart. It's really not that hard. Cool. Schedule update, Secret of Monkey Island starts in 28 minutes. I think we're gonna finish this on time. Might run a little bit close, we'll see. Looking good at the moment, though. For this room? Okay. That's so cool how they use the... They have these predefined game mechanics. Okay, here's our engine, you know, doors open this way, and they play around with it a lot. Alright, here we go.
Get ready.
Don't be surprised if this button summons a Reaper.
Remember, Shepard's basically a cyborg at this point. She's full of cybernetic implants in her brain and elsewhere. It's so cool that they even built this into the engine. Let me save real quick. I think we're required to be solo for this final part. Oh man, we know what he's saying now. It's cool, they just like disappear like that when you kill them. Make sure my ammo's turned on. The game likes to turn that off. Make sure it's on my other gun too, because I have to switch to it. Yep, glad I checked.
Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
Time on this project is running out. There are no options left. How to get the guest's attention?
Yeah, I won't talk too much about the Reapers, but anything I say will be a spoiler. But the Reaper that was in Mass Effect 1, the ship itself is a Reaper. They're 2 kilometers long, which is very big. The Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world right now, I think is 2 kilometers or close to it.
Square root of 906.01 is 30.1. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2.
David, can you repeat my notes from Thursday's experiment?
Square root of 918.09 is 30.3.
David, please pay attention. Loud. It's getting loud in here. I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. Would you mind repeating my notes from Thursday?
He's basically Rain Man.
Log 137.3. The experiment yielded no discernible patterns of geth obedience. End dictation now, David. Hell, the elusive man will have my head for this.
Thank you. And how are you feeling today?
Square root of 924.16 is 30.4. Earplugs would be good.
It's called Disturbances. This is mostly just a story section here.
David, I want you to order the geth to take a step forward.
Creepy.
How does he do it? David is a mathematical savant. His autistic mind can interpret the geth language at its most basic form and mimic their phonetics. With his photographic memory, cross-referencing the meaning as a snap. He's literally a human computer. And you think he can...
I feel like the Geth probably don't actually communicate verbally.
I do. Is that
Seems like that's an inefficient way to transmit information, but maybe they have the ability to, just in case. I think most enemies don't have shields or armor on the easier difficulties. Hey Random, how you doing? Playing through Overlord DLC. Now you know what he's been saying this whole time. This is conveyance here. Having the VI connection that we have to shoot down. It's going to come up in the boss fight shortly. Cool. Do you have a favorite Mass Effect from the trilogy? I know a lot of people is 2. I think I like the story of 1 best, and overall I like 2 best. Fixes a lot of the issues with 1.
Warning. Elevator exceeds maximum weight
You could say that
capacity.
Mass Effect 2 is like a Western JRPG, and that a lot of Western RPGs are focused on setting and the main story more than anything else, and a lot of JRPGs are focused on like character building. The characters are the story. This is all about, like, you know, build your team, do their loyalty missions, learn about them. It's uncommon in the West. Nails both of them quite well. Yeah, 3. Unfortunately, they lost Drew Karpyshyn, who's the main writer. So he planted a lot of seeds for Mass Effect 3 that ended up getting ignored when they brought in a different writing team for 3. So it suffered. Makes sense. I would agree with that. You haven't played 1, and you kind of have to eat your vegetables to get your dessert with 1. It's certainly not as polished as 2, but it is a very good game and has a really cool story. When you got into 2, did you? There's like some systems you can use to make the decisions. Did you just like use the default Shepard, or did you use one of those like comic book systems to decide what happened in Mass Effect 1? Yeah, the multiplayer was really cool. I think they probably devoted some of their resources that could have gone towards making the single-player campaign better into the multiplayer. But if they're going to have a multiplayer, I think it was executed really well. First of all, I prefer co-op to competitive multiplayer, especially in a game like this. And second of all, it was extremely well executed and well supported. Here comes the boss fight. Gonna be tough. Let's see what happens. Yes, they taught us earlier about destroying this VI connection, right? In a way that didn't involve a timer. I don't know if the phases change automatically based on its current health or how it works. That's cool, random. Yeah, they did a version of that for Dragon Age Inquisition because I didn't beat Dragon Age 1 and 2, and it felt pretty overwhelming, but I hear that the comic book thing for Mass Effect 2 is actually pretty well done. You kind of figure out what's going on in Mass Effect 1 a little bit better. Geth now. Slow. Almost got it. Cool, came in. Is it an amiibo? Yeah, no, I agree. I think you should still go back and play 1 at some point. I think it is one of the greatest games ever made. It would be kind of tough going back from 2 if you don't already have the, what would you call it, the nostalgia associated with having played 1 before and knowing how great it is. I think everybody should play Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. It's my favorite setting of all time, and it's really great atmospheric, has a really cool story. It's interesting, though. I know very few people who started with 2 and haven't gone back and played 1 at some point.
Wait! Commander!
Default FemShep in Mass Effect 3 is pretty good. I think she's like a composite of everybody's FemSheps, and then like in addition to that, they had people on the BioWare forums vote on which one they wanted it to be. My Mass Effect 3, I'd use the reversible cover. My front is FemShep.
Rash? Like forcing your own brother into an experiment?
I know how this must look, but I never intended any harm to come to him. You must believe me. It's not like I planned this. It was an accident. Seeing David communicate with the Geth, it all seemed harmless.
And before you knew it, you were running your own private hell.
I had no choice. The demands were incredible. The elusive man doesn't broker failure. Any war we fight with the Geth will be bloody. I was asked to find a way to avoid that.
And how many have already died for this project?
More souls than
Oh,
one
I see,
can
random.
forgive me. But I won't apologize for radical ideas. If my work spares 1,000,000 mothers mourning the loss of 1,000,000 sons, my conscience will rest easy.
Look at him. Your brother would never be the same.
The damage may not be permanent. He might recover some semblance of his mind.
Cerberus will never leave him alone. Your brother will always be a lab rat.
You're a well cared for lab rat. At least he'd still be
So I got to
alive.
vote up. You can vote 1 to not let Project Overlord continue, and you can vote 2 to let it continue because the tech might help us fight the Reapers.
So you'll sacrifice your brother's happiness for your own ambition.
Square root of 906.01 equals
30.1.
Whoa, Flarewing.
What I've done to David is unethical. If he dies, it's unforgivable. Let me take care of him. Please.
quiet. Please.
Oh, man.
Stop.
Right now, there's 2 votes to keep David in Project Overlord, which I think is the most renegade decision you can make in all of the Mass Effect games. My wife did a 100% renegade playthrough, and she didn't even make this decision. Yeah, I'm also Uber Paragon in my main playthroughs. Right now, though, the majority is voting for, yes, the tech could help us fight the Reapers. I'll put up a timer here in about 10 seconds to close out the vote. But if you want to vote, it's vote 1, no, stop Project Overlord. Vote 2, yes, let Project Overlord continue. The tech could help us fight the Reapers. Yeah, right? If anything else in this series, I get it. I could see why a Renegade could do it. I just started a timer. You get 40 seconds. Although, stream delay, you probably have 20 seconds from when you hear this. Watch chat. Right, Flarewing? Oh, it's tied. I'll be the tiebreaker. I cleared the chat random because there's some people who haven't played through Mass Effect before. So I'm trying to keep any overt spoilers from stuff that hasn't happened yet in the series out. I didn't tell you that when you joined, though, so no worries. All right. It was tied, and I'm the tiebreaker, so I'm going to vote for no, it's inhumane. If you wanted to know what happens in 3, I think that it's one of those cut content kind of things where you get some extra war assets or something like that, but there's a scene that you don't see. So we're going to pick the Paragon option.
I've seen enough of your cruelty to know he'll
Looking
never
out,
be
Leon and
free from
random.
here. I'm taking him away.
No, leave him! He's too valuable!
You even think about coming after your brother and this bullet will be waiting for you. Then we'll see who's valuable.
Where will you take him?
Grissom Academy. They can help special cases
Leon.
like David. Minus the torture.
You got in just in
Joker,
time to save the
contact
day.
the Academy and let them know we've got someone who needs their help.
Aye, aye, Commander.
The elusive man can fire me if he doesn't like it.
Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seem harmless. Square root of 912.04 is 30.2. It all seem harmless. Square root of 912.04
Good mission, though.
is 30.2. It all seem harmless.
Have you been trying to reroll characters, Leon? I wouldn't bother with it, man. I just started playing it. Oh, you mean in the main game? I see. Yeah, I usually get D-class monsters. Items probably aren't going to help you for a long time. Maybe Nulu can talk to that when they get back.
Commander, you
Alright, so we
received a
got
new
10
message
minutes
with my
left, but I don't know if I'm
return.
going to be able to do anything productive in 10 minutes, so I'm going to look around, check my messages. This is the museum curator, the mission we did. This is another one of the little side quest planets we landed on. This was for Project Firewalker. No evidence of Prothean activity. More Project Firewalker. I think we get to keep the little Prothean artifact that goes in your office. Captain's quarters. Now, we took Dr. Archer's brother to Grissom Academy, which is where most of the second Mass Effect book takes place. Featuring Kali Sanders. If you haven't read the Mass Effect books, they're quite good. They're written by Drew Karpyshyn. The first two I recommend the most. The third one is kind of weird, and the third one makes even less sense in the context of Mass Effect 3, because what happened was the first Mass Effect book, Ascension, takes place before Mass Effect 1. The second book takes place between 1 and 2, and the third book ostensibly takes place between 2 and 3. But it's written by Karpyshyn, so it has even more of the foreshadowing of the original ending that he had planned. And then Mass Effect 3 came in and they scrapped most of his plans for the original ending. So a lot of it doesn't really make sense in the context of what actually happens in Mass Effect 3, but it's still a good read. I recommend it. Yeah, Random. I like it too. You know, I've mentioned that Mass Effect 1, like the entire UI is blue, and you spend most of the game in Citadel space, and you're kind of in a darker, more cramped military quarters, so it feels more like the Paragon playthrough, or the Paragon game, I guess. Whereas Mass Effect 2 has an orange UI, you're working for Cerberus. You know, you're mostly in Terminus space, not in the Citadel space. So it's more like the Renegade game, and then I guess that 3, the theory is you land in one direction or the other.
No messages for you, Commander.
Leon, Google Mass Effect Dark Energy ending. But I'll talk about it when we get to it. I won't say that it's like necessarily better than what we got, although what we got is pretty bad. Even if you've never played the Mass Effect series before, you probably heard all of the drama when Mass Effect 3 was released. Fans were furious about the ending, and they did some DLC, unprecedented I think, to patch the ending to make it a little bit better, and it's certainly better with the patch they added. I never played the Citadel DLC. I'll be doing that blind and on stream. That's another thing that kind of helps with the ending. It's like an all character development DLC. Yeah, this is a little Prothean artifact we got for doing the Firewalker missions. Similar to the orb you can find in Elitania in Mass Effect 1. I don't think we have any characters to talk to? Question mark. Let me look through the list. We finished everything with Jacob and Morden. Miranda, Garrus we still have to do his loyalty mission. Thane we finished. Kasumi doesn't have unique dialogue. Try Jack, Grunt, and Zaid. They might say something that we didn't say before. We're switching to Secret of Monkey Island in about 6 minutes. It's continuing my blind playthrough. If you're just here for Mass Effect, that's cool. Mass Effect will continue next week. We'll be playing it on, let's see, next week Friday from 3 to 6. Once we beat Mass Effect 2, we're going to transition immediately into Mass Effect 3, continuing with viewers making Shepard's decisions. The stream, though, is focused on completing single playthroughs of every great game ever made, knowing that that's an impossible goal to obtain, but we're going to try anyway. And the Mass Effect series is certainly to be counted among the greatest games ever. As will be Secret of Monkey Island and some of the other games we've played today, Final Fantasy, earlier this week, Xenoblade, Metroid Prime. So if you want to check out the other games, you're welcome to, else we'll see you next time for the next time we play Mass Effect.
Shepard.
Just checking in. How are you doing?
I was just sitting here thinking. The picture, I'm finally starting to get it. There's a tank imprint, the battle at Canrum. A dead Turian, stripped.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Random. It's good to have you.
A Krogan boot on his head, and a claw hammer. It's under the brow plate, pulling it back, right? Eyes have gone black, and you see tension in the muscle. You can feel it ready to snap. I get it.
I've been really enjoying it so far. I love adventure games. There's just one that I never played. The patched ending's pretty good. If you haven't gotten the ending, you can watch us do it on stream if you want. Mass Effect 3, I think I like it for the most part. I probably like 80% of it. Story-wise, it's pretty cool. It's got a good build-up, but man, the last 20 minutes, I don't know. I'm excited for Mass Effect 4, since it's going to take place in Andromeda. They can kind of ignore all the events of Mass Effects 1 through 3, so they can reboot the series somewhat.
Canrum isn't ringing a bell.
Death of Shiagar, female warlord. Turians killed her, so they were hunted down and made examples. Even if they won the war, it was the last push before the rebellions ended.
Maybe I had to be there, but I don't get the joke.
There's no joke. It's just great. It's a Turian, and he's being torn apart for what they did. I felt nothing before, but now I get it. It was a good fight. The enemy was destroyed to punish them all and send a message. I get it. I hate Turians. I thought you'd be glad.
Is this Krogan insight? Realizing you hate someone enough to justify torture?
It's not torture. He's dead. But sure, it's wrong. The crime against us was bad, so the message had to be equal or worse. It's not Okir's hate, and it's not who they are. It's what they did. Thanks to you, I have a clan. I'm starting to see why this is important. Anyway, I'm still figuring where I fit, but it made me laugh. Nothing else really on my mind.
Cool. Alright, so that'll be good timing here. I am going to save the game. I'm going to go throw up the BRB to take a few minutes to feed the cats so that they chill out, and then Secret of Monkey Island will start up when I get back, so we'll see you in 4 or 5 minutes or so.